Welcome back to an episode of Let's Build Twitter. We're on episode 82. In this episode, we finish up working on the landing page that users see when they're not signed into the website. And we do this by wrapping up the right side content by importing those custom buttons we made in the previous episode, as well as creating a new custom button for signing in. And then to wrap up the landing page content, we create a footer that goes at the bottom of the page, styling it to act similarly to the way Twitter's footer actually works as well. As always, I'm Ethan on Koder, and let's hop straight into the development. Let's go ahead and hop back into right sidebar and actually implement all of these. So if we go ahead and go back into right sidebar, let's go ahead and import these. So I like to do it above. So we'll go ahead and import, and we'll go ahead and say Google button, and we'll import our Apple button. We'll go ahead and import our sign up button, like so. So here where it says sign up with Google, we want the Google button instead. Right here, whenever it says sign up with Apple, we want the sign up with Apple button. So we want Apple button there. And then where we have our on click with create account, we want this to go ahead and be the sign up button, and handle click is going to be equal to toggle register, like so. And go ahead and close that. Now let's take a look at what our main page is looking like so far. So if we come back into our browser, and it looks like I missed a thing on our sign up with Apple. So let's go back into Apple and landing dash button and save that. Let's try it. Take a look at this. There we go. So and the hover is not working, so let's check the hover. Apple landing button, Apple, and let's come back into here. That's why forgot the dot, and save. Good catch. And now cool. Now this gets slightly darker. Now we need to fix up some other things, but it's looking good so far. We need to set up like one more button and a couple other things, and then our landing page is going to be completely good to go. However, we need to fix up something in the landing.css because I actually broke one of the features. So give me one moment to find that CSS again. In the min width 1000, I believe we actually want the left side to be 1FR, and then the right side to be the how do we do this? I don't know if you can just put min width here. I don't think you can. Min content maybe, and then we want this to be, no, that won't work either. So I guess it's gonna stay for the time being because I don't remember how to fix it, because realistically it needs to be, it's supposed to stay like 400 pixels or something, which is what Twitter does, but I guess it's gonna stay as is, and it's just gonna be a little bit different from Twitter. I guess that's fine. So now we're gonna move forward, and I'm gonna close out of a few things here. We have like one more button to fix up, which is the sign in button, and we have a couple other things to fix up as well, just to get everything working and finished. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is go back into our navigator here, whatever you want to call it. We're going to make a new file, and we're going to go ahead and call this sign in button.tsx. And let's go ahead and import React from our React. This one doesn't need any images or anything. However, we'll go ahead and grab that global CSS from assets /global.css, and let's go ahead and import our /buttons.css as well. This one will need an interface sign in button props, and this is because we are going to toggle and modal with this. So it's going to call this handle click. We could have called this anything we want. This will take in a void function. We'll go ahead and export const, and this is going to be sign in button, and then this will be react.function component, which will take in sign in button props, and then we will break this up. So handle click, like so. There we go. And we need to return our div. Whoops, div. If I could type, no, incorrect. Return div And we'll have a class name. This is going to be equal to landing dash button once again. And this one's going to have another class called sign in. And again, it's not going to have a an image, but it will have a P, the class name equal to sign in text and color of blue. We actually use color blue this time and sign in. And then on the div, we actually need an on click. And this on click is going to be handle click like that and save. And that's our sign in button. Let's open up the button CSS I just closed out of prematurely. And let's go ahead and fix this up. So again, we're just going to add in a couple of things. So first we're going to have dot sign dash up here to do this, and then we're gonna have a border of 1 pixel. This is gonna be solid and then light gray. We're American, so we do an A dot sign dash in colon hover, not that it really matters, and cursor will be pointer, and then our background to color is going to be RGBA, and we're going to do 29 155 240. It's Twitter blue .1, except it's going to be a little bit darker. And then finally dot sign in dash text. This is going to be font size of 16px, and then a font weight of 600. Save, and that one's good to go. So now we can go ahead and pull in that button into our right sidebar. So let's go ahead and go back into right sidebar, and let's go ahead and import our sign in button. And then now the sign in button is going to go where it says sign in. So go ahead and say sign in button, and then we need a handle click. I don't remember if we created this or not. We do. We have a toggle register. So go ahead and throw, or not register, toggle login is what we want. So go ahead and throw toggle login, and that should go ahead and implement that for us. And if we take a look at this again and come in here, you can see for some reason the background didn't set. What did I miss here? Give me a moment. I missed something in our CSS. The background color should be Twitter blue, I believe, or I missed something else. Sign in. Did I spell sign in wrong? Yes, I did. This should be sign in. And let's try again. There we go. That looks better. And it's kind of hovers blue. Cool. So that fixes that. We're done with the buttons finally. We'll have more buttons to make later on. So next we want to go ahead and set up the last component of the landing page, which is going to be a new folder. And this is going to be called landing, landing footer. We're going to make a new file, call it landing footer.tsx. We might as well make a CSS file because we'll probably need it. Landing footer.css. Now we're going to go ahead and import React from React like we always do. And then we'll go ahead and import our global CSS all the way down to assets. Went too far. /global.css. And we'll also import our /landing footer.css, and we're going to export to const, and we're going to say landing footer, which is a react.function component, which doesn't take anything. We're literally just going to copy the Twitter footer. So we're going to return a div with a class name equal to landing dash footer. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of p tags. So we're going to go ahead and say p, and we're going to say, and really, we probably didn't have to do this. We probably just say footer, class name equal to footer, I guess text or something like that, or footer. I have it as footer link. We could have just used link and text gray. The problem is the font size. So that's why I think I have it like this, but color gray. The first one is about. All right. The next one is help center. The next one is going to be terms of services. The next one will be privacy policy. These aren't going anywhere. Just so you all know, I'm not copying and pasting their privacy policy and all of that stuff. It's probably not even legal. So that's also why I'm not doing it. Next one is cookie policy. Next one is accessibility. Plus we don't need all this anyway. Accessibility. Next one is ads info. Ads info. And this is exactly what they use, just so you all know. And next one is blog. After blog, we've got status. After status, we've got careers. Whoops, careers. After careers, we've got brand resources. Whoops, resources. After brand resources, there's advertising. Advertising. After advertising, we've got marketing. I don't know why we need this many footers links, but okay, Twitter. Marketing, Twitter for business. It's pretty like crazy how many different links they have at the bottom of their landing page. Pretty whack, actually. Next is developers, so you can pay for their API, of course, and then also take down their own website. Directory. Whoops, directory. Settings, I might take a look into to see what their settings looks like. Just to be safe, because maybe that is something that can set some things that are pretty important. And finally, we have the last one. And this one's going to be called, footer copy right, still color gray. And this is going to be a little bit jank looking, but we're going to say ampersand #169. And then we're going to say semicolon 2023. Twitter and save, and that is our footer content. Like I said, very simple. Now we just need to go ahead and make the very simple CSS dot landing dash bottom. And I don't even think, unless I added footer link somewhere else, I don't have footer link inside the CSS here, so give me 1 second. So I just scuffed something. So height is going to be fit dash content. The display going to be flex because it wraps. Justify content is going to be spaced evenly. We're going to have align item center. And then finally, we're going to have flex wrap. We're going to set this to wrap. Cool. And then we're going to have a dot footer dash link. Again, I set this up because the font size is slightly different, I believe. Font size is 13px. Our font weight is going to be 400. We are going to have a little bit of margin left and right just to kind of space them out a little bit more. Even though we have it spaced evenly, this helps it look a little bit more like Twitter, adding this extra margin, just 15 pixels both sides. And then we need our footer dash link colon hover. This one is going to be cursor pointer. Thank you for that. Cursor pointer and text decoration equal to underline. And finally, we have footer dash copyright. And this one's going to have a font size of 13px as well. Going to have a font weight of 400. And I guess what we should have probably done is went ahead and just put a link tag on all of those, but whatever. This is something we can go back through and fix up a little bit later. But that is finished. Looks good. And now we can go ahead and bring that in. First though, we're going to make like we did before, and we're going to go to the component section. Actually, not the component section, but we're going to go to the main folder of features and landing. We're going to make a new file. We're going to make this called index.tsx. We're going to beautify this a little bit. We're going to import our right sidebar from /components/ and this is going to be right sidebar / right sidebar. And we're also going to import our landing footer from there, and then we're going to go ahead and export those from here instead. So right sidebar and landing footer, and this is going to make things a lot prettier inside of the landing page. So now inside of the landing page, we're going to go back in, and we're going to go ahead and instead of importing it from here, we're going to import right sidebar from features. We're going to import landing footer from features, and we can actually go ahead and put the landing footer here. So landing footer like so, and that is good to go on that front. And there's one last thing that we're going to need to do. We're going to need to go ahead and grab the logo for the left sidebar. And this one is going to be a white logo. So just above the CSS, we're going to import from, and we're going to call this logo white or white logo. Doesn't really matter what we call it. White logo from our assets folder. Assets / and we're going to say Twitter logo large white. And then on the left sidebar, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and add an image. So we're going to say img with the source equal to, I'm going to say white logo like so. And then we're going to give it a class name equal to landing -top -left -logo and save. Because right now it's going to be way too massive. As you see, it takes up the entire space. Also, I might have messed up the landing footer.css because that should definitely not be like that. Did we put column on there? We did not. We forgot column, flex direction, column. Actually, no, it should be row. So why? I wonder why that's broken. So we need to look at why this is broken. I'll take a peek at that. But let's go ahead and fix this. It should definitely be flex direction row. Oh, it's because this should be landing footer and save. And let's see if that fixed it. I think I typoed there. There we go. That looks a lot better. Cool. Now we need to fix this massive logo that we have. So we need to go back into the landing.css, which is, we can close out of that. Go into landing CSS. And close out this, and here at the top, I don't think we did anything crazy, which we might actually, let's see, we do actually, just kidding. We're gonna cheat a little bit, and this might or might not stay, but I'm gonna drag over a screenshot, or not a screenshot, but the image Twitter uses on their left sidebar, and this is gonna transform what this looks like. It's gonna really look like Twitter in a second. So now in the landing top left, we're gonna change this to display flex. We're going to say align items center. We're going to justify content center. We're going to have a background image. And this is going to say URL. This is going to go to /assets / what's happening.png. You guys will see what this does. And then we also need a .landing -top -left. And actually it should be -logo. And inside here, we need a max width of auto. And then the height is going to be 60% always. So it's always going to take up 60% of the height. So now we need to go ahead and modify some of our media queries. So in the max width, 1000 pixels, we need a .landing -top -left -logo, and this one is going to have a max width of 35%, and then we're going to have a height of auto, and then inside of the 1300 pixels, we're we're going to have a max, we're going to have a dot landing dash top dash left dash logo. And in here, we're going to have a max width of 35% again, because we have to. And then height is going to be auto. So whenever it's like full size screen, basically, it's going to take up 35% of the width. And then whenever we are in a smaller screen, it's going to take up 65% of the height or 6% of the height. So we come back in here. Now we get this sick looking page. If you guys put it side by side to like Twitter, or at least what Twitter used to look like, it looks pretty identical. There's some small changes here and there, obviously, because I don't have CSS's source code, but we can zoom in here. This might be slightly broken. I don't know. We might have to take a look at this, but this is basically how Twitter acts for the most part. This gets a little bit small. That's because we're supposed to hit a max size. So I might do some debugging again. There's going to be some things that we can fix and change. But it's fine. It gets smaller, then it gets smaller here, and this is always going to stay that same height, and it looks pretty good. So that is everything on this. We fixed up all of the landing page. Now we can go ahead and start working on signing in and setting up some sign-in modals and getting all of that logic working as well. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, please stick around for the next episode by hitting that subscribe button. You'll know exactly when it comes out, especially with that bell icon. If you did enjoy the content today, please sure to leave a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs down. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm all the same. And finally, if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, make sure you leave a comment down below. With that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.